Clark, of course, and the 4th-ranked team in the country. The nation's leading scorer has her team on a 10-game win streak right now. We welcome you into Big Ten Women's Basketball on Peacock, presented by State Farm, as the Iowa Hawkeyes host the Michigan State Spartans. Hello and good evening, everyone. I'm Zora Stevenson alongside the Big Ten and Northwestern alum Megan McEwen. And one of the big storylines this week for Caitlin Clark has nothing to do with her scoring, and it's all about her ability to get other people involved. Right now, she has the most assists in Big Ten women's basketball history with 904.
Everybody wants to talk about Caitlin Clark's scoring ability, but where she stands out the most is her ability to see the floor. As a senior, the game has slowed down so much for her. She is like a quarterback in the open field. She puts her teammates in perfect positions to score every single time. Oh, and hey, by the way, she can also score the ball herself, leading the nation for the 4th straight year in scoring with nearly 30 points a game. She is on pace to become the all-time leading scorer in college basketball, men's or women's. She is unbelievable, and the moment she gets off the bus in the parking lot, that's when the defense from the opposing team has to pick her up.
And the one thing we all know about an effective quarterback is in order to be great, you have to have valuable wide receivers and running backs, which Caitlin Clark has. Now we go to Michigan State, a team looking to play spoiler tonight, and I have a feeling that its high-octane offense is going to play a major role.
The Spartans have been fantastic this season from a scoring perspective. 2nd in the nation at points. You see them at 3rd right now with 93 a game. All 5 players on the floor average double figures in scoring. They are deep, they have high assist numbers, and when you have multiple people that can be on the floor and spread the floor, everybody's a threat, and the defense really has to lock in, especially to that young lady right there.
Well, graduate student Moira Joyner from Saginaw, Michigan, plays a big role for this offense. She leads the hometown team in scoring. Both teams now at the center circle. Head coach Robin Freilich has her team on a 4-game win streak. Freilich is in her 1st year as the head coach of the Spartans, and she will play some chess tonight against a coach with the most conference wins in Big Ten history. Lisa Bluter leads the Hawkeyes for the 24th season in a row. Tonight is the only time that these two teams will meet in the regular season. We are up and underway. A little bit of a late tip tonight, 8 Central, 9 Eastern from Iowa City. First possession goes to the Spartans. Robin Freilich wants her group to play free and interchangeable offense. They get a good start with that bucket from Julia Arol.
Stolke falls down. Sometimes those lines jump up and catch your feet when you're running across half court. But Julia Arol's done a great job for Michigan State scoring early.
Caitlin Clark just off the mark for her first attempt of the evening. Both of these teams like to get out in transition, like to put up a lot of points. Jocelyn Tate with the up and under.
Tate played a fantastic floor game last week against Penn State. She comes out, has that ability to get to the basket, which opens up so much offensively for Michigan State.
Well, versatility is the word that Robin Freilich used when talking about Jocelyn Tate. Caitlin Clark calling for the screen. Gets it to Stolke, who's quite efficient when she gets down low. Foul call on the floor. That's after the Stolke shot. Ball on the floor. That first foul was on Didi Hageman, and we talked about the fact that both of these teams like to get up and down. That's why they're the top 2 teams in the Big Ten when it comes to scoring.
Hey, offense is really fun. It makes the game so enjoyable to watch. And you have 2 teams that score at a high level because they play so fast. And both Michigan State and Iowa want to get out and run in transition just like this.
Didi Hageman off on that one. And we talked about them being top 2 in the league in scoring. That means they're 3rd and 7th nationally when it comes to points per game. Clark turns the ball over, tried to get the dump pass. Here's Kimball, picks it up, little hesitation. Tate aggressive early. She has 4 now.
I love how fearless Tate is getting to the basket, and she's smart and balanced. When she comes to a stop, she goes off of 2 feet for the finish.
Another turnover by Caitlin Clark. Jocelyn Tate, pump fake, and Michigan State now has an 8-0 lead.
Michigan State is one of the best on-ball defenders as a group. They've done a great job getting into Clark. They've really slowed down Iowa's defense. It's become one-dimensional. The ball's only really stayed on one side of the floor so far.
This Iowa team has started 0 for 3 from the field, and this crowd of almost 15,000 people got on their feet that last possession, trying to give the hometown team an oomph to start this game.
And right now, Caitlin Clark is being hounded by Moira Joyner. That means other people have to step up, try to score to get her a little bit of space.
Make that 0 for 4, in and out for Clark. Marshall. But the Hawkeyes keep it alive with their ability to rebound the basketball. Here comes Martin. You can sense Clark time is coming soon. There it is, at the rim.
Clark, known for that three-point shooting ability, but her ability to get downhill. She is so athletic. She's balanced and is very quick, so she can take anybody off the dribble. And at 6 feet tall, she can post up smaller guards.
Hageman, a little hesitation from the top. One thing Robin Freilich didn't want her team to do tonight is to get in the mix because of this noise and because of this crowd.
One of the things with Iowa, they are going to have a sold-out crowd every single time they take a floor. That's where Clark is so good at bodying. Credit Moira Joyner for staying in front of her most of the way. But Clark plays with a certain level of physicality you're not used to seeing with point guards.
So now, Megan, here's the first time that we're really seeing this press by Michigan State. They tend to do it, but they mix it up every game. And one of the keys for Iowa was to play aggressive.
Iowa likes to try to take the ball out of the basket on a make as fast as possible and get going. The best way to attack this Michigan State press is not give them enough time to set up in it.
They broke it easily. Kate Martin left all alone. The lead now cut in half, 8-4.
Head on a swivel. It is so important defensively to understand the concept of ball, you, the person you're guarding.
A-roll just short from the outside. Both of these teams showing their ability to get on the boards offensively. Here comes Joyner. Leads the Spartans in scoring. No good on that one.
Iowa taking advantage of a miscommunication by Michigan State. And right there, 2 go with Caitlin Clark. Kate Martin wide open as the beneficiary on the play.
Joyner looking to take Davis one-on-one. And so many times when you're guarding and strategizing against Caitlin Clark, you can overthink. You have to remember, there's 5 players on the floor, all playing in the Big Ten, who have the ability to do just that. Stolke through contact.
Hannah Stolke getting a deep position early in the possession. Look at her back down. Julia Ayrault gets squared up, finishing towards the rim. Just a great, strong finish. Her shoulder still able to square to the basket. Hannah Stolke feeling it as well. She has gained so much more confidence in her sophomore year. She was the Big Ten 6th Woman of the Year last season, known as one of Caitlin Clark's favorite targets when it came to running out in transition. She still is this year, but I love seeing her play with her back to the basket. She is so dynamic and can play facing up and also backwards.
Stolke coming off a performance on Saturday where she had 19 points and 8 rebounds. She heads to the bench. Sharon Goodman now in the basketball game. Iowa in the middle of a 7-0 run. Michigan State trying to put that run to a close. Here's Joyner putting her head down, blocked by a falter. Tate sets her feet, in and out. Big defensive play by a falter. Sets up the Iowa offense. Nice pass from Clark. That's what they do. Wow. The anticipation by 22. Now a 9-0 run by the Hawkeyes. First lead of the evening for Iowa. Osment, no. So Michigan State started out efficient. Marshall! She's been waiting for that to go in.
Gabby Marshall has made more than 200 career threes. She's not shooting the ball well this season, but that does not indicate the ability that she has, because anytime you get out and run in transition threes, the hardest play to score in, or guard in basketball, Gabby Marshall making everybody in the green jersey pay.
To 0 run, making its last 5 shots. shot. So the last 3 minutes of the game, all Hawkeyes, and then the first couple minutes were all Michigan State. What gives?
Michigan State did a great job defensively starting out this game. Then Iowa finally settled into a rhythm, into a game plan, and ultimately got paint touches that opened up so much offensively for the gold team.
Basketball is a game of runs, right? I mean, the last time these two teams played last season, it went to overtime. 18 lead changes, 11 ties. Let's see if we get a little remix of that tonight.
Well, speaking of a remix, Iowa comes out in a zone that possession. This is something we'll see the Hawkeyes do. Occasionally they'll throw out a zone look. It's a good job because it mixes up how how the offense can approach it. Totally threw Michigan State out the rhythm.
A Falter tries to get the lob down low to Goodman. And you mentioned Iowa switching up its defensive, right? It's because they have so many veterans and they have the ability to switch things up game to game. And we talked about the veterans of Iowa, but of course Michigan State has 8 returners this season.
There's a reason why they've been able to go on this win streak that they're on. The veterans are used to playing with each other, but more importantly, they understand what it's like to go through a whole entire Big Ten season, how tiring it is, the ups and downs that come with it as well.
11 seconds left on the shot clock for the Hawkeyes. Caitlin Clark averages 4.9 three-pointers per game. Has not knocked down one just yet, but I have a feeling it's coming. She's eyeing it. Here comes Clark, spin move. No call. Shot clock went off. Referees initially called a shot clock violation, Michigan State basketball. Caitlin Clark averaging 30.9 points per game. 3 30-point games in a row this young woman has coming into this conference.
You look at that 28-point game against Wisconsin, you're like, that's unimpressive by Caitlin Clark, because that's how good she's been all year long. You know, Clark's one of those players that you just have to let her, as you see her get the steal right here.
Cookies.
She's the type of player that you have to understand she's a high-volume shooter. She's going to take a lot of shots. Some of them aren't great shots, but they're good shots for her. As a defense going into guarding Clark, you just have to try to make her as ineffective as possible. But when Clark can get going downhill, and oh, by the way, when she's getting into passing lanes and being aggressive defensively, those are the types of plays that WNBA scouts love to see.
You've noticed Iowa up the ante on defense. Multiple deflections. That steal by Clark.
Back in this zone once again by Iowa.
A different look that the Spartans have to break. A Falter hauls it in. That's exactly why she's on the floor, Sydney Falter.
Sydney Falter is everything that doesn't show up in the stat sheet. She grinds down low, does all the little things, all the tough plays.
14-8. Iowa holds on to its lead. Spartans working this zone, passing it around. Kimball, couple feet behind the line, yes.
Michigan State just stood still that whole possession by moving the ball. They were able to eventually get a shot, but they have to attack the gaps.
Caitlin, it's a time. Cashes in. So back-to-back threes, trading baskets the last couple possessions. Both of these teams, number 1 and 2 in the conference in three-point makes per game. Kimball again. Off the back iron. Here comes Clark, transition, her favorite part of the game. Pass was just high there.
Iowa goes zone a couple of possessions. Michigan State able to find a gap. But Fulcher doesn't fully commit to Abby Kimball, so she lets it fly. And then on the other end, Caitlin Clark's favorite 3 to hit, by the way, is from that left elbow wing area. So when she goes there, you just have to get right up on her, maybe try to, tackle her to stop her at this point.
60% of Caitlin Clark's shots are from that left side. Nice cut by A-Roll. She's trying to work Stolke down low. Big body move.
Great cut by A-Roll, but also she came to the ball from that pass. Hannah Stolke was in the perfect position, but A-Roll was able to use her physicality to get the pass for the finish.
Clark playing off the Stolke screen. Her ability to thread the needle with those passes through traffic.
I mean, she zips the ball. Like you say, threading a needle. Her vision is unbelievable, and a lot of times we talk about Clark's turnovers, but she plays the game at such a high level and sees things before anybody else on the floor can see things, and a lot of times that results in a turnover.
And just of note, that last foul was Julia Arold's second.
Something to keep in mind, Michigan State does not have a ton of size. Julia Arold, the tallest player at 6'2". That means Iowa needs to get the ball inside as much as possible.
Clark gets caught underneath with the reverse. You mentioned the lack of depth down low for Michigan State. One of its other post players, Iselin Alexander, out for the season. Julia Arold now moving to the 5 for this campaign, really playing in a different position. It's worked so far for Michigan State. Here comes Stolke with the spin move. Yes!
Hannah Stolke has so upped her game from a season ago. She can make moves deep in the paint. She can catch it at the B1G logo and go to work. And a charge.
A falter. Drawing the foul on the other end.
There's the finish by Stolke.
Jocelyn Tate was called with that offensive foul.
And Tate has to be careful. She got into Decanter's face a little bit. You have to keep your emotions in check in a game like this where it gets really frustrating drawing charges.
They go back to Stolke. She has all the defenders on her. Stays right here with the Hawkeyes. (19-13), 6-point lead for Iowa. Remember, they were down 8-0 to start this quarter. Into a falter. Right back to Clark. She pulls the trigger. Jocelyn Tate just came flying in. Okay, going into the Tate.
She was handling that ball like a yo-yo.
The skill set of these players is just so remarkable and fun. Talk about a show for this sold-out crowd.
As good as Caitlin Clark has been this season, in order for Iowa to continue staying as the 4th-ranked team in the country to one of the top teams in the Big Ten, they need other people who are not named Clark to step up, and they've been able to see some of that so far with Hannah Stolke and Kate Martin consistently scoring in double figures. But the nights that Sydney Fulcher and Molly Davis can also step up and score in double figures, that's when Iowa becomes really dangerous.
Well, and you talk to opposing coaches and they say, pick your poison with Iowa. It's all about slowing Caitlin Clark down. You're not going to stop her, and pick your poison elsewhere. On the offensive end for the Spartans, Didi Hageman is going to the line. Gabby Marshall with the foul. Hageman was on the All-Big Ten honorable mention team last season.
Hageman's done a great job at Michigan State her whole entire career. An elite playmaker. She sees the floor at a high level, and this season especially, she's really stepped up scoring the ball, shooting 51% from 3. When Michigan State can settle into an offense and spread the floor, that's when they become so dangerous and can hit threes.
Iowa breaking this press seamlessly, coast to coast, and Clark hits the deck. You notice Caitlin Clark getting to the rim, getting to the bucket multiple times in this first quarter. And we talked to her about that at shoot-around today. She says sometimes, and not to say she's not putting it up from deep, but sometimes she likes to feel games out, get into the paint, and then it opens other things up for her.
Well, she loves a three-point shot, obviously, but when you get to the paint, the defense has to give you a step because they need to try to stay in front of you. So now that gives you space as an offensive player on the perimeter to have room to get the shot off. So getting to the rim early and often is a really important piece for Clark to have.
I'll tell you, Megan, I was walking into the arena today, and we both grew up playing basketball, both played Division I. To see a sold-out crowd on a Tuesday evening, a little bit of a late tip, Clark jerseys everywhere, I got a little emotional. It's just amazing how far this game has come.
Oh, and it's so cool. Oh, my goodness, a baseball pass.
Well, Kate Martin is the quarterback today. Clark the receiver.
It's like Peyton Manning or Reggie Wayne downfield. It doesn't matter. Kate Martin and Caitlin Clark are peanut butter and jelly.
Well, Clark loves the Chiefs, right? So maybe Mahomes?
To Travis Kelce?
Yeah. I'm sure they wouldn't mind that.
I know. Clark was at the Chiefs game the other day.
Interception here. Will we go for the pick six? All the way. Inside Carver, Hawkeye seriousness of this defense. And Osmond will stop the bleeding. That's the end of the first quarter.
I know. How's your neck? I feel like I've been watching Wimbledon or something. Back and forth we go. Michigan State staying in this, though, doing a great job of staying composed despite the chaoticness. But how about Caitlin Clark doing Caitlin Clark things? Not only is she hitting threes, she's also defending, getting pick sixes. Oh my.
By Caitlin Clark, and the Hawkeyes now has Iowa up by 10. Coming into this season, we were doing the countdown for Caitlin Clark on how many games she needed in order to reach Kelsey Plum's women's record. She's now at just under 400 away.
By the way, that is quite the starting five on there. I would put that starting five out against like any starting five of all time. But Caitlin Clark just continues to be so consistent scoring the ball. That's probably the most impressive part about her game, is the consistency she stepped on campus her freshman year in Iowa City. And teams have thrown so many different looks at her. They've double teamed her, they've triple teamed her, they've just tried to stay in front of her, they've tried to force her just to get to the basket, force whatever you throw at her, she's going to find a way to score. She's like Houdini.
This is the third season in a row that Caitlin Clark has increased her scoring. We talk about her consistency each and every year. That relentless defense that we saw towards the end of the first quarter continues for the Hawkeyes.
Iowa is not a team that is traditionally known for its defense, but this year in particular, that defense has improved significantly. They've done a great job of keeping opponents to shooting 38% from the field. That ranks fourth in the Big Ten. But you got to credit a player like Kate Martin, who's a great defender. Gabby Marshall has locked in to being one of the best on-ball defenders in the Big Ten, rather. Maybe in the WNBA one day, like I was just saying.
Abby Kimball picks the pocket of Kate Martin, goes the other way. That's a no-go. Bodies on the floor. Ball is secured by the Spartans. Kimball, a couple pump fakes. Spartans trying to get back on the right track here in Iowa City. There's Osmond.
Osmond had the height advantage over Molly Davis, doing a great job putting it on the floor, getting to the basket.
Iowa getting into its offense. See Tate denying Caitlin Clark the balls. They've got to go Martin Stolke. It'll stay with the Hawkeyes.
Tori Osmond is a fifth-year senior on this Michigan State team. Felt where the defense was, has that height advantage over Molly Davis. She's a little simple over the front of the basket.
Well, that's the awareness and knowing who's guarding you, the veteran presence on display on that last bucket by Osmond. Meantime, just 2 seconds left on the shot clock. Halleck gets the steal. Joyner. And Osmond going right back to that left side.
Martin did a good job staying in front of Osmond and forcing that to be a tough look.
Back-to-back turnovers for the Hawkeyes. Spartans trying to convert. Here's Joyner. Remember, she leads this team in scoring, but just smothered. Stays with Michigan State. These two teams going at it. Their third Big Ten game of the season.
I'm really impressed with Michigan State's poise right now. This is such a hard atmosphere to play in. The crowd gets loud. Iowa's aggressive, but Michigan State has not backed down yet. Julia Arod just came into the game. Keep in mind, 2 fouls. She's the biggest player for Michigan State right now. Iowa needs to focus on taking it at her, and Arod has to defend without fouling.
We've got 3 different Michigan State players playing with 2 fouls.
I like that.
Halleck, sauciness.
Hot sauce.
Martin. Trying to get Marshall open. Clark getting the ball screen. Handoff. Cashes in.
That is Caitlin Clark's favorite way to shoot a 3. The step back, right to left. Abby Kimball cannot go under the screen ever.
Michigan State trying to stay poised with the run and the crowd. 7-point game.
Abby Kimball goes under the screen initially, then on the second ball screen coming, Clark rejects it with the step back. Kimball was not ready for it. Great awareness by Clark, who has unlimited range.
We haven't seen one from the logo yet. It's coming.
I'm sure it is. And there's a couple logos on the floor, as you can see. When you take a wider angle, it's, pick your poison.
She's got options. Here come the Spartans. The lob is deflected by Stolke. Clark in transition through all the traffic to a falter.
Leading the passer to the basket. A falter did not even have to break stride.
And that's one thing you have to think about when you're playing Iowa, the type of shots that you take. Because if they get it off the rim quickly, or if they get a turnover, they are running. The Hawkeyes are pumped up. 2 turnovers in a row.
And it starts with great defense. And Clark, it's like a maestro. It's like a yo-yo the way she's able to walk the dog straight to the basket. That's a yo-yo move, right? Walk the dog? That's what they call it?
Yeah. I can't do it. Caitlin can.
Yeah. I can't do it either, but it's fun to watch.
The Hawkeyes setting up the offense once again. This time, Clark is off the ball. Stolke on the boards.
Great timing by A-Rod on the block.
Okay.
Oh.
Behind the back pass is picked off. And the pace of this game has led to multiple turnovers for both of these teams. Halleck had time to set her feet.
You talk about the pace of play. Both Michigan State and Iowa want to play at a fast pace. But it's about playing fast, but not out of control.
Tate on Clark. High arcing. All the follow through. It's Clark's show. Michigan State responds
They got
to the atmosphere, just like that.
Just like that. Get to the rim, try to get fouled, but you cannot get out of whack from the crowd.
Again?
A heat check.
I was going to say, do we call it a heat check? I mean,
that's a good question.
That's like an in-rhythm shot.
That. Yeah, that's the thing about Caitlin Clark. Some of the shots that would be a bad shot for a lot of players, it is a good shot, an in-rhythm shot for her.
Well, and Lisa Bluter is very open about the fact that Caitlin Clark has different rules than everyone else on the team. Halleck off balance.
There's a lot of contact there. That should have been an and one.
Just like that, 5-point game. Michigan State staying in this one.
This is where Michigan State's leadership and their veteranship is coming into play, staying poised.
Too much space. Just short. Gets it right back. Michigan State
Tate looks exhausted. She just kind of stopped in that place. How hard these players are going, but you cannot be exhausted when guarding Caitlin Clark.
Well, it's team defense, too. I mean, Jocelyn Tate has the matchup, but she's got to get help from everyone else. I mean, that might have been a fatigue turnover, too.
We haven't had a lot of stops in play.
You mentioned that tennis volley.
You're going to need a neck brace after this game.
Back and forth we go.
So much.
A falter on the drive. Deflected by A-Rod, but picked right back up by Stolke. She's cleaning up the mess. Joyner trying to decide what she wants to do. There's a bump before the shot.
Caitlin Clark has hit a 3 on every single inch of this floor at Carver Hawkeye Arena. But right here, that shot, it's like a layup for 22.
Okay, thank you so much. The Iowa Hawkeyes holding a 7-point lead right now. Lisa Bluter has led this Hawkeye team for the better part of 3 decades, 24 seasons in a row, and Her accolades are plenty, but when you talk to her, she says her goal is to win basketball games, yes, but she also wants to help build great women leaders.
And that's exactly what you get with the Iowa Hawkeyes, a first-class program. I love how consistent Lisa Buter has been throughout her career, and the fact that they have sold out every single game at Carver Hawkeye Arena this season. Games on the road are being sold out because Iowa's coming to town. Iowa, as a program, as a CGP, can make it a bucket to go. Iowa has elevated women's basketball so much, and it's the Caitlin Clark effect.
With that Hageman bucket, Michigan State has now made 5 shots in a row. Martin, attack mode, just going back to Lisa Bluter and the season tickets and everything. This Iowa team set a record for the most people in attendance for a women's basketball game ever, over 55,000 at Kinnick Stadium this fall, and Lisa Bluter really set that up. That's Julia Aaron from the outside.
It was a great event put on by Iowa. They scrimmaged DePaul, or exhibition game against DePaul. But look, the sky is the limit for women's basketball right now. It's what we've seen. If you build it, they will come. We could barely get into the building tonight because there were so many people trying to get into this game. It's a really exciting time to be a part of the Big Ten and a part of women's basketball.
Martin. Yeah, we won't talk about what we had to do to get today. Just know we're here. We're happy to be calling this game. Arol just knocked down a 3. Here comes Halleck. Long strides. That's a block by Sharon Goodman. Two-point basketball game, 2:36 to go in the half.
Julia Aaron has been such a leader for this team. Dealt with an injury a couple of years ago, but coming back, she's got so much confidence right now. She's shooting the ball at a high level, even though she misses there. Regardless, Aaron is a huge leader on this team. She puts her teammates in the proper positions, defensively, offensively. Her ability to play inside, outside opens up so much on the offensive end for Sparty.
Well, and Julia Aaron told us today that the reason she's been able to take such a big jump is because when she makes a mistake, she knows that if she gets it back on the next one, Robin Freilich is not even going to bring it up to her.
She's got short-term memory, right? Just on to the next play. That has to be your mentality as a player. You cannot play scared and afraid of making a mistake.
Here she goes right past Goodman. Quick first step.
Great decision by Aaron as well. Goodman came out a little too far, was standing too straight up and down. Aaron had the advantage getting to the basket.
We have a tie ball game once again. It's gone back and forth. It's in Clark's hands, guarded by Halleck. Martin looking to make a decision. She spins off the glass, no. No time to rest in this one. Hageman the other way. Osment in and out. We've seen runs by both teams. Michigan State in the middle of a 14-5 run.
Michigan State has done a better job over the course of this run to keeping Iowa in one-and-done situations. When the Hawkeyes get second-chance opportunities, they kill people, but right now, Sparty doing a good job keeping it to one-and-done.
Here's Osment, the little floater inside. Multiple people getting touches in these last few possessions from Michigan State. They now have the lead once again.
Spartans lead the Big Ten in assists per game with 21 because everybody on the floor is a threat to score the ball.
A falter. Less than a minute to go here in this first half. Joyner. So a couple missed shots on either end. 37-35. Clark trying to get past her defender. A couple of these shots just short.
That help side came over by Joyner, doing a good job forcing Clark to go the other way. She didn't have enough oomph on the shot.
About 1 second difference between game clock, shot clock. The double comes towards Hageman. How will Michigan State play this last possession?
Got to get to the paint.
They pass it around the perimeter. Aaron has no one on her. Halftime can't come soon enough for these teams. They need a little bit of a breather. Davis before the buzzer. And we will end the half with a 2-point basketball game.
Michigan State using that veteran leadership on the floor to not get out of sync despite this crowd. Iowa has to find a way to get multiple players involved scoring the ball. They got to keep going inside.
No surprise, Caitlin Clark leads all scorers with 19, but Julia Ayrold doing her part for the Spartans. We'll be back after the break.
Welcome to the Xfinity 10G Network Halftime Report.
A tight game at Carver Hawkeye. Caitlin Clark making it look pretty easy, though. 19 first-half points. But anybody's guess as to what will happen in the second half. Here is an updated look at the career points, NCAA women's all-time leaders. You can see Caitlin Clark inching a little bit closer to that 4 spot. But just an incredible group of women as we welcome you back into the studio. Carol.
A 2-point lead for Michigan State at the half. The Spartans on the heels of a 9-0 run. Welcome back into Big Ten women's basketball on Peacock. I'm Zora Stevenson. That's Megan McEwen. Megan, what are some of the characteristics of this one so far, besides all the diving and sliding on the floor that we've seen?
Well, it's a really fast-paced game. Both Michigan State and Iowa love to play and get out and run in transition. There's been a combined 19 turnovers because both teams like to play so fast. At times they've gotten out of control. But here's the thing. This game is going to be won in the half court. Oh, and when you take a look at Caitlin Clark, who's the best scorer in the country, the best way to guard her is to try to get her as frustrated as possible. And Michigan State's done a great job by playing defense by committee, forcing her into tough shots. She's getting bodied. They're making angles really difficult for her to pass it. But ultimately, they've been able to frustrate her. You see this play right here. She's saying, what's going on? Really frustrated. But at the end of the day, this is one of those times where Caitlin Clark knows that she has to lock in here. This is the mental toughness aspect that she's become so elite at, getting her teammates in positions to score and handling defenses thrown at her.
Well, Iowa has 9 turnovers right now, 5 of those coming from Caitlin Clark. But here are big shots brought to you by Xfinity, the 10G network. She's still been effective on the offensive end, despite the havoc that Michigan State is causing.
Right, we talk all about that, and Caitlin Clark has 19 in the first half.
Leading all
This
scorers.
is who she is. She's the best player in college basketball right now.
Well, and that's why teams say they're trying to slow her down. You can't stop her.
You have to try to make her as ineffective as possible, which is very difficult to do.
Been a couple different lead changes so far in this one. Hawkeyes start out with the basketball. Nice move by Kate Martin.
That's exactly what the Hawkeyes need. Somebody other than Hannah Stolke and Caitlin Clark to step up. Kate Martin is just the person for the task at hand.
No time to celebrate because the Spartans quickly
Good crunching by Stolke.
Yeah, Joyner tried to force it in there. Stolke picks it off. Clark thought about it. Give and go from Davis. Blocked by Ayrold.
Michigan State is lucky that Julia Ayrold was in the perfect help position because Jocelyn Tate got face cut by Clark. Kate Martin. How about the spin? She still finds the balance to go off of 2 feet, finishing down low. I love Martin's game. She's somebody that if she scores 20 points, that's when Iowa becomes impossible to beat.
Kate Martin, one of a couple people on this team averaging double figures. Davis gets the ball right back for the Hawkeyes. Stolke going to work. She gets hit on the attempt.
Well, Michigan State frustrated because that was a late call. But Hannah Stolke is so physical down low. She's practically in a squat position. Ooh. I mean, she's off balance going up for it, but Ayrold was in the right position. I don't agree with that call.
That is the 3rd personal foul for Julia Ayrold. Remember, she was one of 3 starters for the Spartans that had 2 fouls in that first half. Something to keep an eye on.
It's big for Iowa to get Ayrold on the bench because she does so much for the Spartans playing inside, outside. And defensively, she's already had 2 blocks in this half alone.
She averages 2.5 per game. Julia Ayrold does. She'll have to sit for a while, though. Tori Osment now in the game, and here come the Spartans. You can see Caitlin Clark's eyes looking up, seeing if she has numbers. And the cut by Davis. Ball movement.
Absolutely beautiful, as Iowa head coach Lisa Bruder would say. Making that extra pass makes you so difficult to defend as an offense because the defense is already in a scramble situation. Iowa makes them pay.
Michigan State really trying to get that lob down into the post, but they've been met by multiple defenders early in this third quarter.
Credit how Iowa's been packing the paint, not allowing any easy opportunities for the Spartans. Boom, bada bing, and bada boom. Great job by Molly Davis, drawing two defenders towards her. That led to a wide open layup.
Going from good to great, as coaches would say. Because Davis could have taken that shot. Here comes Clark. Just off, uncharacteristic miss for her at the rim. Jocelyn Tate has this ability to get right where she wants to go in the lane. Hageman the same. Joyner outside.
Joyner is automatic. She gets her feet set. All she has to worry about is the follow through. I love how she's not thinking at all. She's just looking to score.
So now Michigan State finds itself back up. There's been multiple lead changes in just the first 3 minutes of the second half. Clark from deep. Here's Joyner, 2-on-1 scenario. She gives it to Hageman.
You gotta finish that in a game like this. Gotta make layups. Even though that was contested, good job by Stolke. Hageman has to finish with a little bit of contact.
Clark will try it again. Kimball at the rim. A lot of contact.
This is the Big Ten. There is a lot of contact. You have to learn how to play through contact. It is so important to not get frustrated when you feel like you're not getting your way with the officials.
Physical game on both sides. We now hear a whistle, but that would have been before the shot.
And right there, there's a lot of contact. Could have been a foul on Tate early on in that possession. Right now, we're just seeing two teams going so hard. Michigan State likes to play fast. Iowa loves to play fast. It's physical, too. This is what happens in conference play.
40-39. Clark keeps it. Going against Joyner. Bodies her way in.
Tori Osmond's done a great job on the help side, coming in for rebounds, boxing out at a high level. Michigan State settling for a lot of threes early in the shot clock. I'd like to see them get some ball reversals, force Iowa to defend deep into the shot clock.
Well, and when you get a defensive rebound, right, you want to take advantage of it on the other end if you're Michigan State. Just like this.
That's a good decision right there. Robin Freilich saying, slow it down, run a set.
You will notice multiple people in the corners for Michigan State at all times. They always want to have a kick-out option. Osmond has 3 defenders on her, somehow gets it to go.
How did she make that?
3-point lead for Michigan State.
It's like a magic act.
I thought she was going to kick it out. Chose to keep it for herself. The Hawkeyes looking to make something happen. Under 10 in the shot clock. Offensive foul.
The moment that a player extends that arm in front of the official, that's going to be an automatic charge. Tori Osmond, how about the spin, step through? I mean, she's falling down and still finds a way to get enough oomph on the ball to get it to go in. That's a play that only a senior can make.
Tori Osmond, #1 for the Spartans, the most tenured player on this Michigan State team, 24 years old in her 5th year. Tate gets right where she wants to go, fitting in so nicely in her first season with the Spartans. She followed Robin Freilich from Bowling Green.
Michigan State's doing a great job getting into the paint the last couple of possessions. Iowa has to find a way to limit paint touches.
Driving kick. Marshall, no. Spartans in the middle of a 7-0 run. Iowa trying to put it to a stop. Molly Davis does.
Great decision by Davis. Go into the paint. When the outside shots aren't falling, that's the perfect time for Iowa to try to get to the paint, get down, and get to the line.
That was Iowa's first bucket in the last 4 minutes, if that tells you anything about how this third quarter has gone so far. Joyner. Score remains the same. Here comes a falter. Taking it all the way herself. Does she? Caitlin Clark is out of the game. She's at the scorer's table right now. Passing around the horn. Joyner. She's put it up from that exact spot multiple times. Finally gets it to go.
I love what you said, passing it around a horn, because passing it around forces the defense to shift. It gives Joyner a more open opportunity.
6-point lead for Michigan State.
Molly Davis.
Well, and that's what Lisa Bluder wants Molly Davis to do, is get her confidence back, be a little bit aggressive, and not defer so much on offense.
Iowa needs other people to step up and score. Molly Davis could be that person. She needs to continue being aggressive at the rim.
47-43. Foul call off the ball.
Michigan State right now enjoying a lead because they are so unselfish. They have excellent ball movement, and it helps when you've got somebody like Moira Joyner who can shoot it at 41% from beyond the arc. Come on now, 22.
Exclusive NFL playoff game is almost here, and Peacock is the only place to see it all. Don't miss any of the action on Wild Card Saturday. Stream the NFL Wild Card exclusive January 13th at 7:30 Eastern, only on Peacock. Michigan State has a 4-point advantage, and after a 19-point first half for Caitlin Clark, she has now missed her last 8 starts.
Michigan State is making Caitlin Clark's life very difficult right now on the floor. Not only does Clark have no room to move off the ball, the moment she catches the ball, she's being crowded. There's no space for her to make plays right now, and she's frustrated.
Clark back in the game. Tate. And the tip-in by Didi Hageman, put back. Didn't even touch the floor on that one.
I mean, the up and under was impressive, but Didi Hageman flying in sky high. Looked like a play you'd see in the NBA.
Basketball is basketball. See plays in the men's game and the women's game. Remember, Iowa is the 4th ranked team. They're on a 10-game win streak right now. Find themselves down by 6 as Sydney Falter makes her way to the free throw line.
Iowa needs to keep getting to the basket. And speaking of getting to the basket, Jocelyn up, under, miss, but look at Didi Hageman. Look, that requires a lot of strength to just tip the ball back in. She took off, still had her shoulder squared, but still under control. She laid it over perfectly.
This is a Falter's first trip to the free throw line this evening. The junior is known as a dog. That's what Lisa Bluder refers to her as, and of course that's an affectionate and a compliment for the way that she hustles and plays with heart.
Sydney Falter is so tough. She is on the floor diving for loose balls. She sets good screens. She gets her teammates in positions to score. All the little things that don't show up in the stat sheet, but are still so important to be successful.
Joyner setting things up for Michigan State.
Ooh, good crossover.
Multiple defenders, finds Hageman, and it rolls in. Hageman will go to the free throw line after that one too.
We'll put that on a highlight reel. My goodness. Fantastic job by Joyner keeping her dribble, staying patient, then moving without the ball. Didi Hageman cuts hard and finishes with contact. When you cut hard, you catch the defense off guard, and you're going to be open, wide open under the basket.
Well, Megan, you talked about Didi Hageman and her ability to make plays. That can happen off the ball as well. Michigan State, offensive rebound, gets another crack at it offensively. Hageman step back. A-roll. No. Lead remains at 6, 51-45. Remember, these are the 2 top scoring teams in the Big Ten. Clark has yet to score in this quarter, but she adds to her assist total. Starting down low.
Caitlin Clark, as great of a scorer as she is almost better assisting the ball. She draws so much attention. She's able to dump it off at a
running the break. This is where Iowa likes to play. Clark. Yes! Just like that. Cut the lead in half. 1-point basketball game. For Caitlin Clark this evening.
Iowa's been able to get to the basket the last couple of possessions. So when you're running in transition, Michigan State's trying to stop the ball, get back, protect the rim, and it allowed for an open opportunity to Clark for 3. You're running, trying to protect the basket. You get to Clark a little too late. Oh, way too much room. Caitlin Clark's got enough time to watch a whole series on Peacock with that amount of room.
Noise getting loud in here. Carver Hawkeye Arena. Looks like deja vu. Davis running the break. Picked off from behind. Osmond. Oh, behind the back from Howard to Joyner. The camaraderie from this group on display.
It's like 10 style points on my stat sheet.
Back and forth we go. Clark was outside. Now she's inside. Bodies all tangled. Less than a minute to go here in the third quarter. 1-point game. Traveling is the final call there. Will be Iowa basketball.
Caitlin Clark, so strong when she gets downhill. She goes so fast, stays low. Trips over Moira Joyner. Yeah, it's a travel. It's the right call by the official. Darren Halleck just trips.
So with 41 seconds in the third, Iowa down by 1. Caitlin on a little bit of a roll after missing her first 8 shots of the quarter. She's got 24. They go back to her. 5 threes on the evening. Iowa has the lead. Time winding down in the third. What does Michigan State do? Hageman, quick first step. And that's how the third quarter will end. Just how the game started. All tied up. 55 for both teams.
It doesn't matter that Caitlin Clark didn't score until under a minute in this quarter. She is automatic and dangerous at any given point.
Brings the heat for Big Ten basketball. Don't miss a Thursday night doubleheader live from the Great Lakes State.
Ooh.
Penn State takes on Michigan State January 4th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. And then stick around for Minnesota at Michigan on 9 p.m. exclusively right here on Peacock. Meantime, we've got the heat right here from Iowa City, all tied heading into the fourth quarter. 2 of the top scoring teams in the Big Ten, knotted at 55 going into the final quarter.
We love offense. It's the best thing about basketball. Both Michigan State and Iowa love to play fast, and as a result, it's almost counteracted each other, and you see a score that's in the 50s, which is shocking to see, but not surprising because both teams haven't been super consistent from the field. Whoever can grind this out in the half court in the fourth quarter is going to come out with a win.
Iowa has won 3 times in a row against Michigan State. Leads the all-time series 42-30. Iowa slowing it down on this possession, getting into it. It's half-court offense going right to Stolke.
Julia Ayrolt is in some trouble. That's exactly what Hannah Stolke needs to keep doing. Take it at Ayrolt.
Stolke and Clark both in double figures for the Hawkeyes. Skip pass. So now Michigan State's going to Ayrolt. Nice dig from Molly Davis. And a timeout by Robin Freilich before Julia Ayrolt was called for the travel. Heads up play by the first-year head coach here. Iowa up by 2. Called a timeout to save that Michigan State possession. Meantime, travel by Moira Joyner.
Nothing is more frustrating as a coach when you call a timeout, coming out for the after timeout, and you turn it over. This is where Michigan State has to lock in defensively, get a stop. It's going to be so key for the Spartans to not allow Iowa to go on the run and get the crowd into a game.
Well, these are two teams that had double-digit wins on Saturday, now find themselves in a close one here in the fourth quarter. Time score situation is going to be important down the stretch. Allen puts on the Jets for that one.
If no one stops, you go straight to the basket. That was like in Mario Kart when you get the star speed, thing going, and you just keep the Jets all the way to the basket.
Well, I can just hear my AAU coach being like, stop the ball, stop the ball. It's like one of the things that coaches say over and over again.
Stop ball. It's AAU 101.
Davis with the mean crossover. Creates the foul, and she will go to the free throw line.
Theron Halleck totally bodied up. Yeah, that's a foul. Molly Davis is doing a really nice job trying to get to the basket. If Iowa can continue getting into the paint, getting to the rim, it's going to open up so much offensively because Michigan State's going to have to make sure they're in the proper help side.
Davis right now is 100% from the field, 2 for 2, and then she has 100% from the free throw line in her first trip to the stripe.
I'm more impressed with the 7 rebounds she has.
Great point. Filling up the stat sheet, Davis. Plenty of time to work here. Kimball. You see the box out by Iowa. Ball almost bounced on the floor. Davis picks it back up. She had a layup there. I know you're trying to get it down to Stolke, but no one came to guard her. Turnover, so Michigan State basketball. Well, what have you seen these last couple offensive possessions by both teams? Clark, meantime. Okay, now that we pause for that logo moment.
Take a pause. Both teams need to try to get to the basket. The outside shot is not falling right now. And also just try to get fouled and get to the line.
Joyner, spin cycle. Rim has a lid on it. This last couple possessions for both teams.
Both Iowa and Michigan State are making it really difficult with the angles that they're cutting off right now.
Clark has Joyner on her. She takes it to her through the contact.
Clark's ability to change speeds makes her so impressive getting downhill. She's patient. She waits to see what the defense is going to do, and then she stays balanced.
Well, awareness, too. You said whoever has the ability to get into the paint will find success. Caitlin Clark did that on the last possession. Now a turnover by Michigan State. Davis running the break. Kickball.
Caitlin Clark likes to get to the basket because she knows it opens up her outside shot. Feeling where the defense is, she is so strong and physical, and she can finish through contact. Her shoulders get squared to the basket every single time.
She said it's all those days playing soccer. People don't realize how strong of a base she has. Marshall. It's kept alive by a falter. Davis, in and out. Good shots, though.
Clark didn't shoot it because she was adjusting her pre-wrap in her hair, so she didn't have time to get set for the shot.
Clark slowing it down, setting up the set. And having Molly Davis on the floor, the ability to start the offense so Caitlin Clark can play off the ball. There she goes, left side. Come on, Caitlin. Did they call that a 2? No, another 30-piece for Clark. 45th career 30-plus scoring game.
That's it.
45th. Slight work for 22.
We are now in Big Ten play. It is physical. It's emotional. Everyone is leaving everything out here. So we're looking at Tate down low. Fulcher staying with it. And Tate has to be careful with that arm, trying to clear Davis out of the way. I mean, she's lucky that there wasn't contact.
7-point game, 5:13 to go. Referee's taking another look at it. What's the word, Megan?
So they're looking here to see if something happened after the foul call. So they're taking a look at that play right there, the kick on a Fulcher.
And you see Hannah Stolke's face there. Big reaction by the Hawkeyes. We'll see what the verdict is when we come back. So we are back here from Iowa City. Dee Kanter explaining the situation to both head coaches, and the word that we got was there was a personal foul, but it was the activity after the play that the referees were really looking at, and they're calling that unsportsmanlike conduct on Jocelyn Tate.
So Molly Davis gets the personal foul here, but they're going to call the unsportsmanlike conduct on Jocelyn Tate for the kick. They're deeming that as unnecessary, hard, excessive. It negates an obvious advantage, and it was on a dead ball situation after the whistle had been blown. So Iowa's going to have the opportunity here to shoot free throws.
None other than Caitlin Clark, who will take them. And we came into this game talking about the scoring. Michigan State averaging 92 points per game. In every single win they have this season, they've scored 80 or more, and with 5 minutes left, they have 57 points.
The one way teams can beat Iowa is if you force them to grind it out in the half court and play in the 60s. That's what Michigan State has been able to do.
Caitlin Knox. Both of them down. Extends the lead. 9-point game with 5:13 to go.
Iowa also gets the ball back.
And these are pivotal moments. And we talk about this game coming down to understanding time and score.
This is a huge play for Iowa because all of a sudden they have the opportunity to go up by double digits.
What do they do with the extra possession? Clark puts it up. And a hold down by Hannah Stolke, her relentlessness. Michigan State secures it. Kimball, little fake, get in. Spartans still in it.
Michigan State now here, they have not pressed a ton in this game. Iowa's been playing too fast for Michigan State to really press. And it's also, by taking the press off, you forced Iowa to slow down in the half court.
With the way these teams score, 6-point deficit is only a couple of possessions. Two-woman game. Clark and Stolke. Marshall puts it up. She made that 1-3 in the first half.
Her shot's dead on, too. That's crazy.
Marshall has struggled this season the other way. Joyner attacks and has 2 free throws coming up, 66-60.
Michigan State has made great decisions coming in. You see right there the body with Stolke, what they're going to call. Even though Stolke was straight up and down, she moved that upper body into Joyner. You gotta credit Michigan State and how they've handled Iowa's runs. There are a lot of teams that would have come in here and Iowa would have blown open this game because of the crowd getting into it, because of how fast they push in transition. But Michigan State has gotten refocused every single time. They've kept Iowa to a one and done, and they've been able to score and get out and run. It's been impressive to see how they've handled this from an emotional and mental standpoint.
Well, mental focus is part of how Michigan State prepares, right? Shoot around, visualization, seeing yourself in the moment. And here they are, 4-point basketball game, just under 4 to go against the 4th-ranked team in the country. Stolke, powerful to the cup, and one.
been excellent in this game, but to have somebody at her size, 6'2", take it off the dribble, finish with contact, Hannah Stuelke has done all the little things that the Hawkeyes need right about now.
And that possession is twofold. She gets the bucket, opportunity for a three-point play, and then the fourth foul for Julia Ayroll, and we know the Spartans are thin down low. Michigan State trying to hang on. Timeout, Robin Freilich wants to get organized. 6-point basketball game, folks. Stay with us. Crunch time, Megan. If you're Michigan State, what do you want out of this possession? Or how do you want to attack this possession?
Well, the Spartans need to try to get a paint touch because they've been successful either getting fouled and getting to the line, or they've been able to get layups. But the ball movement's going to be crucial for Michigan State. They spread the floor so well. All 5 players are a threat at all times. But valuing possession is going to be huge, and Iowa comes out in a zone to try to throw them off the flow.
Michigan State only taking a couple free throws. They go to Hageman. 4-point game. See the look in Hageman's eyes on defense. These teams are locked in. Turnover by Caitlin. The other way, Michigan State. 3 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Joyner against Davis. Kick out to Ayroll. One game. Stay awake, folks. Stay awake. We have ourselves a basketball game.
Julia Ayroll is a 5th-year senior, and she is making 5th-year senior plays. That was tough.
How do these two teams stay poised down the stretch? Crunch time is Clark time. Looking for opportunity. Step back. Yes! Caitlin cashes in. Listen to this crowd. How does Michigan State respond? By going to Osment. Not backing down.
Michigan State has made the mature play every single possession. Get to the basket.
2-point game. 2 minutes to go. Give the ball back to Caitlin.
I like Clark and Stuelke in this 2-woman game. It's been effective.
Top of the key. That one short. Michigan State has made its last 4 shots. Trying to stay within striking distance. 2-point game. They go to Ayroll. She tries to get around Stuelke. Tied! Tied at 71.
Julia Ayroll making all the right decisions, but right now Michigan State's been able to get to the rim the past 3 possessions.
Davis setting things up for the Hawkeyes.
Iowa's got to get Clark and Stuelke back in that 2-man game.
They go right to it. Clark has 37 points. No good on that attempt. She was looking for the foul call.
And Michigan State has to slow it down here.
Tie game, under a minute to go. Kimball working baseline. Foul before the shot. Caitlin's second.
And Iowa still has 2 fouls to give before shots. 1 foul, check that.
They've been working through Ayroll. Here's Joyner. Just relentless on the post. Blocked and rejected by Clark. Big defensive play by 22. Trying to get to the rim. Clark calls a timeout, realizes her team needs to get organized.
Excuse me as I pick my jaw up off the floor. First off, Moira Joyner, great job getting this award. Caitlin Clark comes in, hello. I mean, the timing on that was perfect. talk about Caitlin Clark not allowing anybody to score defensively. That was what a play by number 22. You're not used to necessarily seeing her block like that. That was a great heads-up play coming in off the weak side, the help side, to keep that basket from going in. And this is a huge reason why Michigan State has been in this game and it's tied. The Spartans have so many weapons offensively. And credit the way Stolke's played in this game. Obviously, Clark with 37. But Michigan State's done a good job of making other people on Iowa ineffective. The next closest, you have 6 points, 6 points, 4. The only 2 players that have been effective scoring have been Stolke and Clark.
Remember, the last time these two teams played, it went to overtime. We are tied at 71. 35.1 seconds to go in the fourth. Martin to the baseline. Davis thought about it. And both players go to the deck.
Now the question is going to be, are they going to call this a shooting foul?
Hageman slow to get up. Let's get another look at the contact.
And that shouldn't be a shooting foul. She wasn't in the act of shooting. She was taking it on the rim.
Davis.
Pump fake. Oh, that's just tough collision. And they're going to call that a shooting foul.
So with the shot clock off, Molly Davis will go to the free throw line. The 5th-year guard in her 2nd year with the Hawkeyes.
Molly Davis was pump faking and about to take the ball on the floor. Pump faking. That shouldn't be she was not in the act of shooting on the foul. And that's the 4th team foul for Michigan State.
Robin Freilich is asking for an explanation right now. Meantime, on the other end, everybody is set up like free throws are set to happen. The referees communicating from either side of the floor, but these free throws will happen. Davis, an 88% free throw shooter. This is the first. So she's going to shoot 3 free throws because, as the referees called it, she was shooting from behind the line.
It looked like she was about to put the ball on the floor.
So 2 for 3, 2-point basketball game. 73-71 with 29 seconds to go. And you see this substitution. Davis goes to the bench. A falter comes in the game for the Hawkeyes. Remember, Hageman was just holding her face, but now it's going to try to lead Michigan State.
That's where you just want to get to the rim.
And that she does. Acrobatic finish by Didi Hageman. We're back tied. Timeout. Woo! Are you still with us?
Didi Hageman doing a great job. You just have to get to the rim. She does just that. Great job, and good job by Iowa not fouling. You don't want that to turn into a potential 3-point play once she already gets downhill. Now keep in mind, you advance the ball under a minute in women's basketball, but the timeout didn't get called till later. So we're going to see where they spot this ball, if they're going to count the fact it looked like Iowa may have taken a dribble.
And Megan, you were really looking over and over again at that foul call that put Molly Davis at the free throw line.
So right here, there's the pump fake, and it just depends. She wasn't in her shooting motion. That should not have been a shooting foul. And now, granted, Hageman came out and fouled her. I mean, that was 100% a foul, but that should not have been a shooting foul because she went going back down after the shot fake to put the ball on the floor.
Credit to Michigan State. After that play, though, they move on. They realize where the game is at, and Hageman wastes no time going the other way. 23 seconds to go, all tied up at 73.
You got to hold it for the last shot here. And Iowa's just got to let Caitlin Clark be Caitlin Clark.
I have an
of who it's going to, but it's just how is it going to happen?
I think everyone in America knows who it's going to.
Anticipation here. Davis, time winding down. Are they going to get the ball up in time? Clark for the win. Yeah! She does it time and time again, the 40-piece, and walks off with the W. Celebrations erupt inside Carver Hawkeye Arena. Meantime, if you're a fan of either team, you got to hold still because the referees are looking at it, but my goodness.
This is why Caitlin Clark will go down as one of the best to ever play the game. She has ice water in her veins. That shot was reminiscent of that Indiana-Iowa game. Last year, last game of the season, Caitlin Clark hits a 3 to win the game. Oh, that's it. She got it off. Let's see, one more time. It's close.
It's close.
It's close. I got fans behind me saying it's in. I'm listening to them. Like, I got to really take a close look here. 3, 2.
I don't.
They count it. She got it off. It's good.
Wow.
Listen, this is what Caitlin Clark does, folks. Logo threes. It's her signature. That is the most Caitlin Clark way to win a game from the logo.
In front of 15,000 fans, another sold-out crowd inside of Carver Hawkeye Arena. The little kid in me is freaking out. I'm speechless. She put up a 40-piece, 8 threes, and walks off with the game winner. Time to send it back to Carolyn, Aaliyah, and Jordan. Maybe you all have some more words. Iowa wins 76-73, 11 wins in a row. That's insane.